Texas Tech head basketball coach. He's Chris Beard, joining us, Continental Tire Coach's Corner. He's been, I want to know if he knows where he's been, all the different coaching stops, but he's found a home here at Texas Tech. He was there as Bob Knight's associate head coach at Texas Tech from 2001 to 2008, and he's got his team in the Final Four. So let's welcome in Chris Beard, the Texas Tech head basketball coach. Come on in, Coach. 30-6 on the year. Lost to Duke at Madison Square Garden earlier this year, and Zion only scored 17, but ended up losing that game. Coach joins us now. Coach, great to see you.
Glad to be here.
All right. Can you name in order all of the stops in your coaching career?
You know, I used to make fun of coaches that couldn't.
Okay, can somebody look and see all of his coaching stops so we can fact check this? But this is what people don't realize. They see you at the Final Four. They don't know where you've been for the last 15 to 20 years. All right, Paul, are you ready? You got the list?
We have Wikipedia if they're, we believe in them.
Okay, how many stops do we have there just to let Coach refresh his memory of all of his coaching stops?
I got 12.
Okay. Coach, you ready?
Started at the University of Texas with Tom Penders.
Okay.
Then we went to Incarnate Word with Danny Casper.
Okay.
Then we made a great move to Abilene Christian with Shannon Hayes.
Okay.
Then we got our first head coaching job at Fort Scott Community College, hired by AD Kevin Gundy.
Wait, what?
North Texas, 97 through 99.
Yeah, I've already messed it up.
Okay. Yeah, you've had a lot of stops.
Sorry, Vic Trilly. Thank you for that job. Can I have one more chance?
After Fort Scott. Okay. Then
One more chance?
Yeah.
After Incarnate Word, we went to Abilene Christian.
Correct.
Shannon Hayes. Then we went to Division I, first Division I job, University of North Texas in Denton. Worked for Vic Trilly. Sorry, Coach. Then we got our first head coaching job, Fort Scott Community College, Kansas. Kevin Gundy hired us there. Coach Gundy will be at the game Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Really looking forward to seeing him more than Coach Izzo defense. Next head coaching job was Seminole State College in Oklahoma, hired by Rusty Bean. Then I had the chance of a lifetime. Got hooked up with Coach Knight and Pat. Had a great run in Lubbock, and that's where it gets a little complicated here. After Lubbock, went to South Carolina and coached the Warriors, the ABA South Carolina Warriors.
I wasn't even aware that there was a team there.
We did have the corn dog deal if you scored 100 points, like Will Ferrell in semi-pro.
Corn dogs for everybody.
Corn dogs.
I love it. Okay, four more stops.
After the South Carolina Warriors, we went to McMurray University in Abilene, hired by Coach Ron Holmes. Then we went to Angelo State, hired by Dr. May and AD Sean Johnson. Got our first Division I chance then. We went to Little Rock. Chase Conk gave us an opportunity. We took a small trip to Las Vegas, and then we ended up at Texas Tech, and proud to be at Tech. How did I do?
All correct.
Did well, and we're all out of time, Chris. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Enjoy the Final Four. I like that you blew out your ACL. That was during a game, right?
Actually, no.
It went against Iowa State?
It's even more embarrassing than that. I blew it out the night before the game in practice. Zaire Smith, who's in the NBA now, wouldn't set a flare screen from the corner. So I showed him how to do it, tore up my knee. We wrapped it up really good that day in Ames. I told Coach Prone, don't tell anybody, but I'll probably have a really quick handshake with you because I can't walk. But then in the flow of the game, Naeem Stevenson and I had a little bit different opinion on what we should do on the key offensive possession. I forgot that my knee was tore up, and that's when I fell down. So most people think that I tore it in the game, but I actually tore it the night before.
But you said that you wanted to finish the game. You didn't want those fans to think you were soft?
Yes. I've always loved Iowa State fans. They have the best post-game meal in all of college basketball.
Wait, what do you get?
2 wings and a warm roast beef sandwich right after the game.
Win or lose?
Yes.
Oh.
So I've always loved Iowa State. But they're basketball people. You know, they'll cheer for your team even if they're rooting against you. But I have even more respect for them now because literally nobody made fun of me, even though I fell down on my face in the middle of a Division I national television game. I love Iowa State people.
So were you good at basketball?
In my own mind, I was.
Because we had Bruce Pearl in, and he barely played. He said, football and baseball.
Yeah, I was a 5-year redshirt at the University of Texas for Tom Penders. Coach was great. Coach Penders spent some time with us last week at the regional in Anaheim, and I think I don't know if he's just getting a lot nicer or maybe his memory's starting to go the other way, but he's got me scoring like 8 points a game my senior year. I just remember sitting behind the bench, giving him a pointer from time to time.
But how do you teach if you haven't played, you haven't experienced that?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of us that played. We just maybe didn't play at the highest level, and nobody loves basketball more than me. And so it's a big part of my childhood growing up. I just wasn't a Division I player, and I knew early on that I wanted to coach. And so I got a great opportunity with Coach Penders.
How do you stay married with all these stops?
I'm not married. I didn't. Yeah, 0 for 1 on marriage.
Oh, you did?
No, 0 for 1.
But you have 3 daughters.
3 daughters and a beautiful girlfriend now, Randy. So I'm going to try to do a little bit better here the second time.
But it's so tough on families.
Yeah.
With your travel, recruiting, your uprooting. I mean, I think that's some of this that people don't realize.
That's a big part of this Final Four, too, kind of the emotion that goes into it. It's not just the games and the players. It's like just thinking of all the people, including your family, that gave you a chance to do this. I've been coming to Final Fours for almost 25 years. I was the small college guy, sleeping in my car, trying to get the free food from the buffet, sitting so high up top you can't even see the floor. So this weekend will be great for so many reasons, but just thinking of the path and then thinking of all the sacrifices my family made to let me get to this point is pretty cool.
What's this like? Where you look over your shoulder and there it is. I mean, you're working Saturday in that building and a chance to play for the national title.
It's just awesome. First of all, it looks like a pirate ship. So I've never coached in a pirate ship, but no, it's everything. It's
you nervous?
No, I don't get nervous. We talked to our guys a lot this week. We have a simple plan at Texas Tech. This is not high-level coaching. But we said, number one, we want to smell the roses. Like, we don't want to be that team that comes down and says it's a normal trip. This is not a normal trip. It's the Final Four, so we've been enjoying everything. But when it's time to play, we want to try to be us. We want to be the team that got us here, the team that won the Big 12 regular season championship. So it's that fine line between smelling the roses, enjoying the ride, but then also trying to play our best game of the year Saturday.
You're known for your defense. This is a great defensive team. Virginia, a great defensive team. Michigan State, great defensive team. Does defense win championships?
I think so. Teams that guard at a high level. Defense can come in different forms. But yeah, you have to guard. You have to guard on your end. You got to do it all year. So it's the DNA of our program. Mark Adams on our staff is one of the best guys that nobody's heard of. But we had a great nationally ranked defense at Little Rock, and it's no surprise that we have it at Texas Tech. Coach Adams
But it's hard to recruit defense. Like, guys, everybody wants to be a scorer. Everybody wants to be a star. And, you're trying to get guys to play defense.
Well, I heard you earlier saying that you didn't pick us for the Michigan State game.
No, I did not.
The whole truth-telling atmosphere. Maybe in recruiting we don't talk about defense quite as much.
But you better be able to play defense if you come to Texas Tech.
We're 20 minutes in the first practice, and we hadn't pulled the balls out yet. And Matt Mooney looks at me. He's like, Coach, we
going to shoot?
And I was like, no, Matt. No.
So it's Hoosiers. You're Norman Dale.
Yeah, we just don't have the preacher's son saying prayers and the wheat fields.
You get fired up, though.
Yeah, no doubt. That's who we are.
I mean, you can't hold back emotions? Don't want to?
Not during a game.
Do your daughters ever say, Dad?
Oh, yeah.
Chill.
They get embarrassed every game. They're like most people, though, when we win.
They won't be embarrassed if you win Saturday.
No problem. When we don't win, problem.
Yeah.
It's kind of life.
What's the worst moment aside from blowing out your ACL, where you look back or you watch yourself on TV and go, that's not good?
I'm not a very good dresser, obviously. But I saw Coach Pearl. I think I look a little bit better than Coach Pearl. No offense, Coach.
Yeah.
We're both Under Armour, though.
Okay,
so.
Who is a well-dressed coach?
Jay Wright last year.
Oh,
Villanova.
Yeah, Jay, that's not fair what Jay looks like. Roy Williams always looks...
classy.
Dapper?
Yeah, classy.
Coach K's been wearing that same blue blazer, I think, for about 30 years, right?
Yeah, but it just pops, man. He's got the ring. It's big time.
Yeah?
He's been great, by the way. He sent me a text. I'm just a normal guy, man. Like, again, a couple years ago, I was down here, drinking draft beer, trying to find a ticket. And now, Coach K, texted me this week. So it's surreal. It's
What'd he say?
Just good luck. So we had played him in Duke earlier this year. We had a great game.
Yeah.
Except for we kept giving the ball to Duke. And then, no, he's just been great. I think people kind of sometimes see themselves in our teams because we try to play the game the right way.
Yeah, but, and we're talking to Chris Beard, the Texas Tech head coach, joining us here at Continental Tire Coach's Corner. You're one of those lifers. You're one of those guys that you might not notice, but then all of a sudden you notice how his teams play. I don't know what it was that Bob Knight goes, I want you as my associate head coach. This is one of the great coaches of all time. How does that happen where he notices you and notices something special in you.
Yeah, I was just really fortunate. You know, I tell the guys all the time, you're going to get a couple breaks in life. It's just up to you to recognize them and take advantage, and that was mine. It was like a PhD in coaching every day. But a big piece of my relationship with Coach and my story was Pat Knight. Pat's the one that endorsed it. Pat today is still one of my best friends, so none of this happens if it's not for Pat, and then obviously Coach Knight.
What's your favorite story?
Coach Knight, you know, I was thinking of a good one the other day. People would just write him letters and call him just for year after year, basketball-wise. And he'll get to it eventually. But if anybody just even wrote him a letter about anything to do with hunting, he would call immediately. So one day we were in the office, and it was when Coach had a reunion. Bill Russell, Havlicek, Charlie Pride, just people from all different likes were there supporting Coach because it was his first game coming back from his year absence between Indiana and Tech.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people in the room. Everybody's talking about, man, I've been trying to get a hold of Bob forever. I've been trying to get a hold of Coach Knight. Finally got him. This one guy in the middle of the room, just Levi's, kind of flannel shirts. Like, that's funny. I wrote Bob Knight a handwritten letter. I didn't know who he was. He called me personally the next day. And the world kind of stopped. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, this guy just had like a dove lease, some land out in West Texas, and he wrote Coach a letter. Hey, if you ever want to come out and hunt birds. Coach sees the letter, picks up the phone, calls the guy personally. So that's Bob Knight.
Yeah, did he ever walk in with camo and on or?
Oh, all the time. As a young coach, one time we had a Saturday morning practice, 6 a.m. And I remember thinking, what are we doing? But I was like, this is Bob Knight. I'm not questioning anything, you know. And so about 30 minutes into practice, it was a really good practice in my opinion. But Coach went crazy on one like closeout, kicked him out. You guys don't want to practice today. We're done. Goes crazy. We walk back to the locker room. As a young coach, I'm walking back there thinking, man, I'm about to see like a Bob Knight moment. In the locker room, Coach is calm as can be, but he's putting on camo. And he's like, boys, sometimes you got to shake the tree. I'm going to hunt turkeys today in Garden City, Kansas.
So he orchestrated that so he could go hunting.
Absolutely. No, I'll do that. It's not based on hunting, but like, you know, if I'm really hungry and I want an early dinner, I might just kind of create some confusion at practice and kick them out so I can go eat.
Really?
Really.
How will life change if you win this thing?
I really don't think it will. I mean, I am who I am. So
did UCLA reach out to you?
And I'm here to win a game.
Okay. No, but I understand you got things, but I was curious because that's a compliment to you. But UCLA had reached out to Calipari, and I'd heard they'd reached out to you as well.
Me, not me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a cell phone that I answer about once every 3 days. So there could be a lot of people reaching out to me that I don't know about, which, by the way, I'm sorry, everybody out there, you know, if I haven't returned your text. We've got a kind of a rule in our family, our group of friends is like, you know, if you're that guy that doesn't return calls, then you're buying the round this summer when we go to the river. But guys, I don't think this qualifies me having to buy all the beer. I think this is just me being busy right now.
I can't believe that 3 years ago you're, drinking draft beer trying to get a ticket just to go to the Final Four. Like you just want somebody to notice you and you want to talk basketball. What are you doing?
You know, it's just a great game. I was telling people the other day, like basketball doesn't care the game. You know, it doesn't care if you're like, I mean, how can I be in this category with Coach Izzo and this? I mean, it's because it's the game.
Yeah.
It's the love of the game. It's getting a team together that loves it, and you pay the price. And at the end of the day, the sport's greater than all of us. And I think that's why guys like me get a chance.
Bruce Pearl cried before you.
Bruce, emotional guy.
When's the last time you cried? You don't strike me as a crier.
Actually, I had tears of joy the other day.
After that game?
I go to the same place almost every morning to get my breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
And people ask me all the time how I stay humble. This is how, I always order it, and then I forget to order the extra salsa.
What's the name of the place?
Man, I got about 3 I go to, so I really don't want to go there.
You don't want to mention the name? Okay.
I get in trouble every time I mention one place, but,
okay. All right.
But you know who I'm talking about. But I always forget to order the extra salsa, and then it's 30 cents. And you got to get back in line to pay the 30. So I get my first head Division I job. I'm at Texas Tech. Maybe I got a little bit of an ego, but so I'm thinking, hey, can I get that extra salsa? Lady's like, yeah, 30 cents. So I still have to pay for the salsa. So the other day, finally, we've won some games. We made the Elite Eight last year. We were pretty good. But finally, the other day, I get there, and I forgot the salsa, same thing. And I was like, hey, can I get that extra? And I'm reaching my pocket, and they're like, Coach, it's on the house.
Wow, 30 cents. You know what? If you win Monday night, you'll never run out of salsa.
I mean, there's no way I'll ever get like the burrito comped, but maybe I can get the unsweet tea.
We'll work on that. Congrats.
Thank you.
Because as I said, it's a long road and there are a lot of people involved in it and there are casualties along the way. And, you hope that you're a good dad to your daughter and, those kind of things. But you're here with a team that shouldn't be a surprise to people, but I'm sure it is because they forget what happened last year when he lost to, I believe, Villanova. So good luck this weekend. And just so you know, if you do beat Michigan State, you ruin my bracket.
I hope that happens.
Okay. All right. I'm fine with that. He's Chris Beard, the head coach at Texas Tech.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.